You already know some English. You've studied it, maybe for years. But the second you open your mouth, your brain freezes. You start thinking in your native language, searching for the word, translating it, and by the time you're ready to speak, the moment is gone. That's not a language problem. That's a brain wiring problem, and it's totally fixable. Here's what this video is actually about. By the end of the next 15 minutes, you're going to understand why your brain translates, and more importantly, you're going to have 3 specific techniques to start rewiring it, starting today. Now, the most common excuse I hear is, I'm just not talented with languages. Let me kill that right now. Talent has nothing to do with it. This is about training a habit, like going to the gym, but for your brain. Here's your first quick win before we even get started. Stop saying in English, Kadira is chair. Start saying chair and picture the object. That tiny switch? That's already the beginning of thinking in English. If you're someone who's been stuck at the intermediate forever level, or a complete beginner who's tired of freezing up, this video was made for you. Stay with me, because what I'm going to show you in Block 3, most people who study English for 10 years never figure it out. So why does the brain translate in the first place? Here's the simple version. When you learned your first language, you didn't learn words. You learned meaning. You touched a hot stove and learned. You cried and someone said, okay, meaning came. First, words came second. But when you learned English in school, the opposite happened. You got a list: chair, table, run. Your brain built a bridge. Your native language on one side, English on the other. Every time you want to speak English, you have to cross that bridge, and that bridge is slow. Neuroscientists call this lexical mediation, basically using your first language as a middleman to access your second language. It works. It's just not fluent. The goal isn't to demolish that bridge. That's too hard and too slow. The goal is to build a second road, a direct road from thought to English. No detour for your native language. And here's the good news. That road already exists in your brain. You just haven't used it enough yet. Every English word you've ever heard, every phrase from a movie, every song lyric, it's all in there. We just need to activate it the right way. That's exactly what the next 3 blocks are going to do. In this block, you're going to learn the single most important mindset shift for thinking in English. And it starts with how you look at language itself. Here's a mistake almost every beginner makes. They try to think in English one word at a time. I want to go. And then the sentence falls apart because they can't find the next word fast enough. Fluent speakers don't do that. Fluent speakers think in chunks, or in technical terms. Lexical chunks are ready-made groups of words that travel together, like a unit, like a building block. Let me give you examples. I want to, that's a chunk. Can you help me with chunk? I have no idea. Junk. It depends on chunk. When a native speaker says, I have no idea what you're talking about, they're not building that. Sentence word by word. They're pulling out a chunk, I have no idea, and snapping another chunk onto it. It's like Lego, not like writing. So here's the shift. Stop memorizing isolated words. Start collecting chunks. Attempt. You try to see Iggy or Neo say OQ phaser. You think Ike? Don't. No. What to do? Slow, painful, uncertain. Era. You translated it word by word. It worked. technically, but it took 4 seconds and felt exhausting. Validation. Now try this instead. You already know the chunk. I have no idea. Use it. I have no idea what to do. Faster, more natural. Zero translation. How do you build your chunk library? 3 steps. First, every time you hear a phrase in English that sounds natural, from a movie, a podcast, a song, write it down as a unit, not the individual words. The whole phrase. Second, don't just write it, say it out loud 3 times. Your mouth needs to learn the shape of it. And third, use it the same day, in any context, even talking to yourself. I have no idea where I put my keys. That's it. That's the foundation. You now understand something that most self-taught English learners never figure out. Fluency isn't about vocabulary size. It's about having the right, ready-made building blocks. And you just started building your collection. In this block, you're going to learn a technique that lets you hardwire English words directly to meaning, completely bypassing your native language. Remember what I said earlier about how you learned your first language? You didn't use a dictionary. You used reality, touch, smell, image, emotion. That's the connection your brain actually trusts. Here's the technique. I call it the silent movie trick. When you learn a new word or chunk in English, don't translate it. Visualize it. Make a movie in your head. Silent, vivid, ridiculous if necessary. Let's say you're learning the word exhausted. Don't translate. Instead, picture yourself dragging your feet across the floor at 2 a.m. You can barely lift your arms. Your eyes are closing. That feeling, that image, that is the word exhausted. The next time you need the word, your brain goes straight to the sensation and then straight to the word. This is called direct association, and it's the exact mechanism polyglots, people who speak many languages fluently, use to acquire vocabulary at speed. Attempt. You try to memorize frustrated by writing and translating. You review it 5 times. A week later, you blank on it mid-sentence. Error. The translation created a fragile, one-dimensional connection. Your brain filed it under vocabulary list, not under lived experience. Validation. Now, try this. Think of the last time you were genuinely frustrated. Maybe your phone died right when you needed it. Hold that feeling for 3 seconds. Say, frustrated out loud. Do it again. Frustrated. Now that word has an emotional anchor. You won't forget it. And here's how to level this up. When you're doing everyday things, cooking, commuting, working out, narrate your life in English. Not out loud necessarily, just in your head. I'm making coffee. The water is hot. I'm really tired this morning. Don't worry about mistakes. Don't worry about grammar. This is a mental gym. Reps matter more than perfection. First, you build the habit of narrating. Then you build the habit of feeling the English rather than translating it. You just learned what separates someone who studies English from someone who lives in English. The silent movie trick isn't a gimmick. It's how your brain actually stores language. And now you can use it intentionally. Okay, this is the one. I told you at the very beginning that most people who study English for 10 years never figure this out. Here it is. In this block, you're going to learn the single most powerful tool for thinking in English, and you already have access to it right now. Tell me something. What language do you think in? When you're planning your day, arguing with someone in your head, rehearsing what you're going to say, it's all in your native language. That internal voice, psychologists call it inner speech, is the real engine of your fluency. Not your textbook, not your grammar app, your inner voice. And here's the thing most people completely ignore. If your inner voice still speaks in your native language, your English will always have a delay. Because every time you want to say something, your brain has to translate the inner monologue first. The solution? Train your inner voice to speak English. Now, before you say that sounds impossible, let me show you it's not. Attempt. You decide to think in English for one full day. By 9 a.m., you're already exhausted. Your thoughts are slow and choppy. You give up by lunch. Error. You tried to go from 0 to 100. You asked your brain to do something it has no muscle memory for yet. That's like trying to run a marathon with no training. Validation. Here's what actually works. Start micro. Give your inner voice one job per day. 3 levels. Go through them in order. Level 1. React to things in English. Your coffee is good. This is great. You're stuck in traffic. Oh, this is taking forever. Just reactions. Short. No pressure. Level 2. Ask yourself questions in English. What am I doing today? What do I need to finish? What do I want for lunch? Answer in any way you can, even broken English. It doesn't matter. Level 3. Have a full inner conversation. Imagine explaining something to a friend in English. Your weekend, a movie you watched, a problem you're dealing with. No one can hear you. No judgment. Just reps. This is called inner speech training. And it's the closest thing to a cheat code that exists in language learning. Because when your inner voice starts defaulting to English, you stop translating. The thoughts come in English. The words come out in English. The bridge disappears. This is the shift. Right here. You just understood something that most English students chase for years without naming it. Your inner voice was the missing piece the whole time, and now you know exactly how to train it. Level by level. Starting today. All right, let's put everything together into something you can actually use tomorrow morning. I'm going to give you a daily protocol. 10 minutes. That's it. But these 10 minutes are designed. Every step activates a different thing we talked about. The 10-minute English brain protocol. Minute 1 to 2, chunk collection. Open your notes. Find one phrase you heard today, in a show, a podcast, and add anywhere. Attempt. You pick, I'm not sure about that. Error to avoid, don't translate it. Don't break it apart. Validation. Use it in a sentence that applies to your real life. I'm not sure about that meeting tomorrow. Done. Minute 3 to 5. Silent movie session. Say the word out loud while the image is vivid in your mind. That's the anchor. Attempt. You're learning overwhelmed. Error to avoid. Do not think of the word in your native language. Validation. Picture your screen full of unread emails, your phone buzzing, your head spinning. That is overwhelmed. Lock it in. Minute 6 to 8. Inner voice workout. Level 1. React to 5 things around you in English. Level 2. Ask yourself 3 questions in English and answer them. Level 3. Spend 2 minutes describing your day so far in your head in English. Attempt. You try level 2. What did I do this morning? I woke up and drank coffee. Error to avoid. Don't stop when it gets slow. The slowness is the workout. Validation. You finished the 2 minutes, even imperfect. That's a rep. Reps build the muscle. Minute 9 to 10. The anchor sentence. No translation, just feeling and words. I feel ready for today. I'm kind of nervous, but that's okay. I just want today to go smoothly. This trains the direct connection between your emotional state and English expression. Over time, that connection becomes automatic. The full checklist at a glance. One chunk collected and used in a real sentence. 2 words anchored with the silent movie technique. Inner voice workout completed any level. Sentence said in English. 10 minutes every day. Not every other day. Every day. Consistency beats intensity every single time in language learning. A little every day rewires the brain. A lot once a week doesn't. Let's close the loops. You came here because your brain freezes when you try to speak English. Because the translation mode kicks in and the moment is gone before you find the words. Now you know why that happens, and you have 3 tools to change it. First, think in ready-made building blocks, not isolated words. Second, the silent movie trick. Connect English directly to images and emotions. And third, the big one, train your inner voice. Level by level. One reaction, one question, one conversation at a time. Until English becomes the language your brain thinks in naturally. This isn't about being talented. It never was. It's about building the right habits in the right order with the right tools. And here's the thing, you didn't just watch a video today. You made a decision. A decision to rewire your brain instead of just hoping fluency shows up one day. From today on, you're already someone who thinks in English, not perfectly, not fluently yet, but intentionally. And intention, repeated every day, becomes identity. Start the protocol tomorrow morning. 10 minutes. That's your only job. If this helped you, save this video. You're going to want to come back to the protocol and subscribe, because the next video goes even deeper into how to never forget English vocabulary again. See you next class.